Hello everybody, my name is Dan Lukart and I am Barefoot Tesla. I'm going to take you through another FSD 10.1, current as of 1/25/2021, analysis video featuring Frenchie's YouTube. So he's the beta tester here. So let's take a look at how it does this intersection. So this was a particularly bad error, and let's go back and look to see what went wrong, and then we'll do a dive as to what aspect of the system failed and how could it potentially improve. So looking at the screen right here for a moment, we see that the scene is mostly correctly labeled. So this car up to the left, which is also completing the same maneuver, is being displayed green in the visualization, which is correct. Green means that it's in the car's path. We see as we advance a little further, the car zooms out. We see, it's very difficult to see, but if you look closely, we see a wall of yellow here, which is oncoming traffic. So it's correctly displaying the oncoming traffic. It can see this little island that it needs to avoid right here. And the car suddenly veers from its predicted path. It's trying to go on this street here and into oncoming traffic. And this is where the epic fail happens. And then he quickly takes over and realizes that that's going wrong, can't go into the bus. And then as he takes over, it's interesting, there's a slight lag. We're in the regular visualization, and then the computer goes, hey, we're in FSD mode, take over FSD. And then as he jerks the wheel around, then the path prediction goes to its correct place. So in order to understand what went wrong here on a more nuanced level, I think we need to do a dive to understand how the car is doing turns. In the past, I've referred to how the car is always more or less trying to go forwards, and the turns using the GPS data attempt to pull the forward path prediction to the appropriate level given the turn that's upcoming. So it's like a magnetic force, if you will. So to understand this in greater detail, what went wrong, I think we need to take a look at a full FSD visualization. Let's see if I can find the part that I wanted here. Let's go to a simple section. Yeah, right here. Kind of less cluttered because the intersections can get quite chaotic. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is this graph on the side. And when I say graph, I mean a graph as a graph theory with nodes and edges. Here the car is being displayed on this node, and it's connected to this node via this edge. And the green is the intended path for the vehicle. And blue is going to be adjacent lanes or intersections, the best that I can figure. So as we watch the car go forward, let's watch right here as it goes to the next node. It traversed this edge. It's now in the next node. And you can see this other node that's connected or associated with the intersection. I'm not sure which one it is, the logic here. It would make sense that it's going to be this one. This node slightly above the boxed is going to be that lane. It could be the other one. I could be wrong, but I'm just trying to get you the general idea here. And as it traverses this intersection, if you want to call it that, off to the right, it will go to the next node, which displays this other part that's upcoming. These look like driveways or something, small intersections. Here, as we look at the regular visualization, we can kind of see that. There's the display. We have one adjacent lane and then one lane that's going in the opposite direction. So there's boxed to represent the intersection, and then we continue forward. Have your attention draw to this light blue line that goes through. This is not what the car is projecting. This line is connecting the nodes and the edges. So in this case, the car is just going straight. And right here, we reach another node, which is right here, right in the center of the intersection. let's go forward. And then as it passes that node, notice how many things are labeled off that node. Right there, it passes that node, and then it goes to the next node. It advances onward. So this one right here represents right in the middle of the intersection. Now let me back up, because now that we understand this a little bit, and it gets a little complicated because it's a busy intersection, let's take a look at how it does this first right turn here. So right now the car is about to do a right-hand turn. And I want you to see the visualization here. Let me back it up and see if I can get the perfect point. You can more or less see it right now. But you can see that the nodes and edges, here is the node in the middle. And then it's a right angle into the next intended path of the vehicle. We can see this on the graph on the right. And what I think they're doing to do the turns is they know that this is a right angle turn, and then they're trying to do some math to say, okay, we need to pull the vehicle at approximately this angle with this amount of smoothing into the turn. And the car completes a nice turn. You see how it's kind of cutting this, the vehicle's own path projection, kind of going this way. And it makes a nice turn. So that's how it's doing the turn there. So the problem with this intersection, which is really a weird intersection, and I think we can all agree that, let's wait till it zooms out right here, is where do you place, let's see if we can get a little better resolution. Where would you place the node for this intersection? And that's really difficult. If you're, like, let's say you're hand doing this, where are you going to place this node so everything can pull the appropriate way given the path that we're doing? And I think if you're just doing this with some sort of method that's not accounting for each individual intersection, it's just, you know, doing some calculation saying this is the middle of the intersection, this is where the node for this intersection needs to be. I think the node is being placed right here in this intersection. So it's not pulling to the appropriate spot. It's kind of treating it more or less like a right angle. You see here, this is going to be approached as a right angle. So it's kind of pulling it the same way it would as a right angle. And I think the node is too far backwards for this intersection. I think it needs to be up here so it can pull it to its appropriate path. And this is going to be a very difficult path for it to master because it's not in the correct place. So in this next one that went out this morning, the next update that went out this morning, I'm really excited to see, because I think this is the metric that they're going to be most kind of adjusting. So we can see if Kim, FSD Beta Kim, if her vehicle can pull all the way into Pope. That's what I'm kind of looking at. Are they adjusting that node pull force and where the nodes are located themselves?